New York Mets are at the Miami Marlins. Mets are up in the top of the first inning, and wouldn't you know it, Juan Soto's on base. So with one out in the top of the first inning, Juan Soto gets on base. Super excited to have you all here tonight. We are MetropoliFins. We're YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel, coming to you with live play-by-plays, watch-along parties, ride-along, watch-along, watch parties. So super excited to have you here. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, whether you're watching this live or on replay, so that way you'll be notified the next time that we go live. Pete Alonso is at the plate here in the top of the first inning. Juan Soto on first with a single. Lindor already got out, so there's one out in the top of the first. David Peterson will be pitching for the Mets today. Majors right now with one, or what the Yankees like to call the first batter in the first inning. So this Mets lineup needs to wake up. This is the get-right series if you could ever ask for one. This Marlins team is not expected to be a good team this year, and especially not early on. Pete pops the ball up near first base, and that's going to be an out for Pete Alonso. So we're going to be with you tonight for the next couple hours doing some food and grocery delivery. We might have to even do some grocery shopping trips. We shall see if we end up doing that as well. And just talking Mets, talking baseball this entire evening. For the now, it's more like a guarantee the game is going to be 2, and then maybe it'll go longer than that. So less baseball, shorter games, which I don't know, I guess some people like, some people don't. And Nimmo is retired as well, so the Mets are going to be out in the top of the first. I believe they said the stat was Alonso, Nimmo, Vientos were 4 for 42 to see that. And if that's correct, if I heard that correct, now they're 4 for 44. So you've got Juan Soto, who was like 4 for 10, I believe. I've only been to like the old, when they were in Joe Robbie, whatever it is now. The old stadium. It would be about 2 hours and change to get to that Miami stadium. So if all things could go awesome with this channel, where I can actually start to make some income off of this channel, then I would love to be over and live at these games, or anytime the Mets would play in Florida. Honestly, I'd go to Braves games. I'd travel to Atlanta if I had the opportunity to do so. Those would all be they're all within a day trip. I mean, Atlanta's a long drive, but I would totally do it. Go into hostile enemy territory and do that. But yeah, this is, I don't know where the Yankee Stadium is that the Rays are playing at this year, but either Tampa or Miami would be just about a little over 2 hours for me. We're basically smack dab in between. So I'm hoping that with one day off, a day of rest, and a chance to just work on some things, that the Mets bats are going to come alive. But I think somebody needs to just go out there and start giving torpedo bats to the rest of the team. Let's get those torpedo bats in Pete Alonso's hand, and I want to make some sort of video on that whole torpedo bat thing. I think it's the silliest, stupidest thing that people are complaining about. Like, of all the changes coming to baseball, the fact that there's a new style bat that is still within the legal specifications of a bat, like, that's all of a sudden the thing people are upset about. Profar got busted for PEDs. Why? Why in this day and age? Why would you? I don't get it. I mean, I get it if you're a minor leaguer, you're trying to crack the squad, and you think your time is running out. But I mean, Profar, he's a major league player. Why would you do it? Anyway, I think this whole torpedo bat thing is primarily because Yankees. It's not even like all the Yankees are using the bat. And it's like, guess what? It's a bat. Any player who wants to use it can use it. Strike 3 called. So Peterson fell behind 3-0 on that count. But got the first out of the inning on a strikeout. So I don't know. You guys tell me what you think on this whole torpedo bat thing. I think it's the stupidest thing for people to get upset about. I can name 10 other things about baseball that are worth getting upset about, like the Manfred man in extra innings, like the automated designated hitter in both leagues, like. And that is a home run for the Marlins. Otto Lopez with a home run for the Marlins off of Peterson. It's going to be 1-0 Marlins here in the bottom of the first inning. So tell me if you think I'm off here, but sketchy internet over here. That's just the life of the delivery drive. Once I can get out of my Cricket phone contract, I'll go over Verizon. Coverage is a lot better on Verizon. It's 1-0 Marlins here on a home run. The bottom of the first inning. So let me know, what do you guys think? Are you like upset about this torpedo bat thing or not? Well, there's a second strikeout for Peterson. And there's a strikeout. Sorry, I was a little bit behind. So Peterson ends up striking out the 3 batters he retired. Obviously, he's pitching strikes. You don't want your pitchers pitch balls. I agree with you, Stan. By the way, good evening, Jonathan. Good evening, Stan. Good evening, Redman. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us here tonight, doing a little bit of food delivery. I also, since I'm in zone, I'm blacked out of all these Marlins games anyway, so it's like I couldn't even be sitting and watching the game through legal means normally. So I was like, and I gotta finish up. I only make a couple more $100 so I can pay the rent, because I gotta keep a roof over my head and my family's head. So will anything go right for the Mets, Redman? Well, that's up to the Mets to decide, right? There's no talent issue here. Everybody knows that. It's mental. It's approach. It's obviously not even been a pitching issue. I mean, if I had told you through the first 3 games plus 1 inning, the Mets would be severely struggling in either pitching or hitting and dominating in either pitching or hitting, based on going into the season, most people would guess they would be struggling with the pitching and dominating with the hitting. Baseball is a funny game, though. And right now, the Mets just can't hit other than Juan Soto. But let me tell you, there's a couple things here, a couple of my observations on this. One, it proves to you that it is not the quality of pitchers necessarily that the Mets are facing. They're not facing unhittable pitchers. They're approaching pitchers in a way that prevents them from getting hits. And I think that's a really key thing, because Juan Soto kind of blows up excuses and narratives, and because it's really hard to say, like, well, we can't hit this guy when you have one guy on your team who is just constantly cranking the ball, right? So what it means is we're not making the adjustments that we need to make to hit this guy, whereas someone like Juan Soto is obviously going in and doing that. Every leprechaun. Yeah, absolutely, Jack. Appreciate you hanging out with us here tonight. I'll get caught up on the stream here, but Mets are coming up here in the top of the second inning. How's it going, Vielik? So basically, the productive part of the order Mark Vientos with a double. There we go, Mark EV. I would say of all the Mets, Vientos is the one who's closest to looking like he's ready to bust out. He had a key RBI double, was it 2 games ago? So that's really good to see for Vientos. And ironically, you guys know, he was the one of all the Mets I was maybe most concerned about for that sophomore slump going into this year. So it's going to be interesting because I understand why the Mets want Pete Alonso up third, and I understand why they want him up behind Soto to protect him. But I do wonder if at a certain point in time, if Pete doesn't break out, if Mendoza's going to mess around with maybe moving someone like Vientos into the 3-hole and put Pete in the 4-hole. You know, because you need guys who are going to get on base at the beginning of the game. Like, there's just no reason the Mets shouldn't be scoring a run in the first inning at least every other game here. It should be a pretty consistent thing. Torrens is up here for the Mets. Since you said the Pirates stole 15 bases against the Marlins this weekend. Swing and a miss by Torrens here. I believe it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Chien? Yes, I have a red car. You can... I think you can kind of see it right here. Driving a red car. So, listening to the Mets, trying to figure out all their problems, trying to pretend like we know more than Carlos Mendoza and the batting and the hitting coaches and the pitching coaches know. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs in the top of the second, so the Mets have a chance to get this game tied once again. So we'll see if the bottom part of the order can come through for the Mets. Torrens grounds out. Is not able to advance Vientos. So again, another poor situational at bat for the Mets. Good evening, Lisa. How's it going? Brett Beatty at the plate. Beatty had a great spring, but like the rest of this lineup has kind of struggled. Howie Rose just said he thinks that this is Brett Beatty's last chance with the Mets, and I kind of agree. I like Brett Beatty. I think he's gonna be a major league player, but I also agree that there's too many guys coming up. There's too much in the Mets pipeline to just keep giving Beatty unlimited chances with the Mets, and it's hard because you want to be patient, but there's other guys who want that spot. There is a trade market for Beatty too. So, all right, are we rooting for the Braves or the Dodgers in this series? Because Braves are playing the Dodgers. So let me know, who are we supposed to root for? The 5-0 Dodgers or the 0-4 Braves? I hate to say it, but I think I still root for the Dodgers here. I just want the Braves to be just crushed. Like, the Dodgers are going to be good no matter what. But 2 balls and 2 strikes to Beatty here. I think I still have to root for the Dodgers though. As much as I don't want the Dodgers to start out the season something like 20-0 or something crazy like that. Somebody will beat them. Doesn't have to be the Braves. All right, full count here to Brett Beatty. I think they just said the Mets don't come back to Miami until the final 3 games of the regular season. So let's put in the work for this channel that maybe I can get to go to one of those games and stream live from Miami. See what we can do about that. All right. Next pitch is fouled and not held by the catcher, so Beatty stays alive. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So it is still 1 out in the top of the 2nd inning. Marlins are up 1-0. Deep fly ball to right field. Does not advance Vientos. So Vientos remains on second. So once again, the Mets fail to just have good situational baseball. So tonight is the night we talked about. There's possibilities where you can see this lineup where Acuna, Beatty, and Vientos all play. So there's, just because they're all on the team doesn't mean one of them has to sit the bench. You can play all 3. So and there is the benefit here, right? So tonight's the night where you can give Lindor. Now, is there some injury on Lindor? Because I would not expect him to miss this after a day off. Is Lindor? But you have a, for better or worse, you have a homegrown Mets infield tonight, for the most part. I know Acuna is technically not homegrown, but... Oh, okay. Well, Lindor always goes off after the baby, right? Doesn't he have a history every time his wife has the baby, then he goes off after that? Well, congrats to Francisco Lindor. I figured there has to be a reason, because there's not a normal reason Lindor would be sitting out after a day off, even for load management and rest and stuff. It's not something you would do there. See if Acuna can get the job done here. Ball 3 to Acuna. At least the Mets are slowly racking up the pitch count. And Acuna grounds out. to retire the side, and once again the Mets bats come up nothing. Now, still not in the preaching panic, but what you want to see, especially with a team that's been through this before and this sort of thing, you want to see the Mets actually changing things quickly. You want to see their approaches, like you want to see them trying different things, whether it's working the count more or being more aggressive or whatever it is. You want to see active working on the things and not just going up with the same approach every single time. So we shall see how everything goes here, but it is certainly not the start to this game nor to the season. Oh, well, that stinks. We just got a pizza order, but the way that I normally go to get it, that road is blocked off, so I gotta go. I gotta take a long way around here. So we're gonna go pick up a pizza order here. It's like a $15 order. I mean, I could almost buy a pizza. Yep. I mean, it's pure fundamentals here that the Mets are missing out on. Not even being able to advance runners. Can't quite make that U-turn in time. I don't know if I can cut that one hard enough. Pizza place is like behind me, but it's not easy to get there since my normal pathway to the pizza place is blocked off. But we live in Florida where you can basically do a U-turn anywhere you want. So that's one thing I got going for me here. 3 balls and 1 strike here. Peterson pitching. And he walks. So Peterson with a leadoff walk. Mets pitchers need to stay mentally steady here and not get caught up in the fact that their team is not scoring runs. Yeah, I know. New York City, like, can do. I probably, when I'm doing like a full day of delivery, I probably make 20 U-turns a day. It's pretty common down here. We actually have certain lanes that are U-turn required lanes. Like if you're in this lane, you're required to do a U-turn. All right, it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Peterson pitching here. Runner on first, nobody out in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Marlins are up 1-0 on a 1st inning home run. 3-1 now. Peterson's struggling with his control here for a little bit. They're saying it's about 50. And he walks back-to-back batters. My goodness. So Peterson has faced 6 batters. He struck out 3, walked 2, and gave up a home run to 1. So. Be careful out there, Lisa. Is it like a $150 fine up in Syracuse? We're going to have to send Lisa to a Syracuse Mets game sometime, too, since she lives up there. All right. Runners move up. I don't know if it was a bunt. I think it was a bunt. Or it was a slow grounder or whatever. Well, that's good. That's good. So there's runners on second, third with one out. I'm going to go see if this... What are we getting? Oh, wow. 3 pizzas, wings, and an Italian beef sub. That sounds like a great meal. I will be back with you guys shortly. Well, somehow David Peterson manages to get around trouble and get out of the inning. He ended up striking out the next 2 batters, I believe. He ended up striking out. I believe that's how that went. I'm gonna get everything all caught up here. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us here tonight. We are MetropoliFins. We're YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel. Dancing between the raindrops. Yep, barely. barely hanging in there. Let's see. Close that. Mark this as picked up. Smells really good. You can just smell the wings right now. It's been a minute since I've had really good buffalo wings. Alright, we gotta go 6 miles here. Dropping off some Hungry People's pizza. Fishing and guns on a budget. How's it going? I love it. Is that what you talk about on your YouTube channel as well? Because that's like a perfect, if that's what your channel's all about, then everybody's gonna know it. So, talking New York Mets. Mets are down 1-0 going to the top of the third. Unable to generate any offense really on a consistent basis this entire season. Meanwhile, their pitching continues to be, in the very least, above average, and certainly keeping the Mets in these games that honestly they have no business being in. So appreciate everybody hanging out with us here tonight. We're going to be talking Mets baseball while we're doing food delivery, so occasionally if I disappear, that's what I'm doing. I'm not running away from you. I'm not scared of most of you. Only Lisa. Lisa's the only one I'm scared of. So. So I did this, and I'm kind of like kicking myself for not realizing, because like all last year I was out doing like food delivery and like listening to Mets games just like I am doing now. I'm like, I should have been doing a YouTube channel that whole time. But that's all right. We're not going to worry about the past too much. We're just going to enjoy hanging out tonight. Jose Siri. Jose Siri, the strikeout king, is up. Yep, I agree, Stan. Like, there's different types of pitching performances, and I wouldn't call what Peterson is doing dominating by any stretch, because it's too inconsistent, but the mental maturity that he has to get out of these jams now, like every good pitcher is going to get into a jam from time to time. It's just the nature of pitching in the major leagues. The hitters are too good. It's just going to happen. And so, do you have the mental to get out of it without panicking, without getting emotionally overwhelmed in different things? I think that's definitely something, I feel like Peterson is just, I feel like he'd be a number 3 starter on most teams in the majors. Kaylee, good evening to you. Hope you are doing well tonight. By the way, people keep watching our dual live stream from the other channel. It's a hit. People liked it. It's got to be you, because they don't ever come back and rewatch any of my old ride-alongs, so it's got to be your picture on the thumbnail for sure. Kind of a not good order. I did a couple of those today. This one's a good one. This one's a $15 pizza order taking me right downtown. And Siri strikes out, as if that was unexpected. It is 1 out. Back to the top of the lineup here. Starling Marte is your designated hitter and your leadoff hitter tonight. Yeah, understood. I'm actually just doing, I'm actually taking a break from DoorDash for the next 2 days. I'm just mainly doing Uber Eats and Instacart, because that's the easiest, fastest way to cash out. I need a little bit of rent money. Marte! Home run! Starling Marte! Hey, there's a little bit of life in this team yet. Starling Marte! With maybe the first... Well, so going into this game, in case you didn't hear that, the Mets had the least amount of home runs in baseball going into tonight's game. They were the only team with one home run going into tonight. I mean, here's the thing. A couple things I'd look at with this is, first of all, we suffered through not just an 0-5 start, but really a miserable April, May into June last year. And we survived as Mets fans. This team is more talented than that. And definitely, like, can't go into panic mode for sure. So, is it world record hang time for a 340-foot home run? Yeah, like the call was like really long. I was like, oh, because I'm just listening here, so I have just the radio call. I'm not actually getting to see it at the moment, but that's good. It's good to know that someone else on this team can hit a home run other than Juan Soto. Did Starling Marte switch to the torpedo bat? And Soto flies out in pretty deep, but not quite home run territory. Enough to get the fans cheering just a little bit on that. It's going to be 2 outs in the top of the third, 1-1. Mets 1, Marlins 1, top of the third. And it makes David Peterson dancing through the raindrops last inning, makes that much more important that he didn't give up a bunch of runs there. So we're dropping. I got about 3 more miles to drop off this pizza. See if the Mets can still be batting by the time I get there. 2 balls and no strikes. 2. Polar Bear, Pete Alonso. Oh, he left for it. Yeah. I mean, it was like... I'm used to kind of the cadence of the radio calls. Like, it was a legit long radio call. And Pete Alonso grounds one into center field. So maybe, sometimes it's all it takes. Just the bats are starting to wake up just a little bit. Vientos got off the non-torpedo part. The non-torpedo. So Vientos had a double. He's had a couple of big hits. Now Marte with a home run. Pete got a single through here. You got to imagine Lindor's going to come back on fire. Nimmo hits a chopper back to the mound. Is thrown out at first. But you got to imagine Nimmo not going to be able to contain Nimmo for super long either. So, I'm hoping. Yeah, if Pete can be patient, that's always been his hard thing. Like, being patient and then laying off that high, that pitch up here, that looks really good. And he's gotten better at laying off of that, and then if you can add some patience into it, it's like, you're hitting behind Soto, so you literally get one of the benefits is Pete's gonna get to watch, 3, 4, 5 pitches of almost every pitcher before he even comes to the plate because Soto is so patient as well. And so it allows him to see more pitches, and hopefully that's going to wear off on him being able to wait for a better pitch himself. Bugatti, how's it going? I live in a town where I see a Bugatti every once in a while. Not too often, but there's a few of them out here. More Bentleys than I can count. Only a couple Bugattis out here. Fair amount of Lambos too. I'm doing well. Starling Marte tied it up there in the top of the third inning, so it is 1-1 Mets at the Marlins. Going to the bottom of the third, David Peterson gave up 1 home run, got in a little trouble in the second inning, but he struck out 5 batters tonight in 2 innings, so that is pretty good. My day's been good. Been busy, full of good orders, and made as much money today as I was hoping to make today. And so now we're kind of just going putting in a little overtime hours here. Because the more I make today, the less I have to make tomorrow. Because rent is due. Rent is due. So if y'all are feeling the pain of rent being due, like that's, I'm here with you. So that, plus I'm blacked out of this game because I'm in the Miami market. So my in-laws have cable at their place and they just left. So there's a possibility. I don't know what channels they get on, their TV. There's a possibility I could see a Marlins game over there, but no Lambos up there, huh? Grounded to third. Vientos throws to first, and 1 out in the bottom of the third inning. So this is Otto Lopez at the plate for the Marlins here. He's the one who hit the home run in the first inning. I'm driving down a fancy street right now. I'll let you know what some of the best cars I see here. There's a Porsche 911 Sport. There's a white Cybertruck directly in front of me right now. Lots of Mercedes on this road here. Ooh, there's a cool car right there. What's that? I can't tell. I'm going too fast. It's a Cannonball Run car, guys. Cybertruck already turned off, so. That was a Cannonball Run car. Did you guys see that? That green one? I lost the white Cybertruck. But there was a white Cybertruck in front of me as well. There's a Ferrari on the right I just passed. We see less of them this time of year, though, because the snowbirds go home. They're the ones, it's those 60, 70-year-old dudes and some of their 60, 70-year-old wives with the big money that have lots of toys. We're dropping off 3 pizzas and wings. 7 strikeouts in 3 innings. Nice. I must be behind on my feed. Hold on. Oh yeah, I'm totally. Oh wow, I was way behind. Okay. Thank you, Stan. Apparently, yeah, I got so far behind. We're top of the 4th inning. Well, that's good. I'm telling you, we were having fun and talking Clay Holmes for Cy Young, but I wonder if it's only a matter of time till Peterson starts to throw himself into not a Cy Young winner conversation, but Cy Young vote conversation. No, it's good. It's so every time my GPS goes, it pauses the radio. So you're good. You're good, Stan. I'm trying to stay up with it. Yeah, I agree. I mean, he just continues to develop and grow every year. I mean, it was just a couple years ago that I was thinking, well, McGill's going to be like the solid starter and Peterson might have to go to the bullpen, and now it's almost the opposite. I got to figure out where exactly I'm going here. All right. I got to drop this order off, and then we'll do a nice complete reset for all you guys of where we're at in the game. All right, let me get out of this lady's driveway and not run over the guy on the bike behind me here. One step at a time. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us here tonight. We are MetropoliFins, YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel, covering baseball and football from a New York Mets and Miami Dolphins fan perspective. So let me just get out of this little neighborhood here. Apparently we got some sketchy internet for my Verizon phone over here because I don't have a radio stream at all for the moment. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Yeah, 3 Cy Young vote getters. Is Senga your third? I would imagine. All right, I'm just trying to get somewhere where I have signal, because right now I got streaming signal, but I don't have any signal on my Verizon. I haven't even been able to mark the order as delivered yet. They're already probably eating their pizza and wings, and I'm still trying to get it marked as delivered. Let's go, Verizon. We got baseball to take care of here. All right, we got that part's taken care of at least. I don't think you can this season you can bust on Brett Beatty quite yet when the guy you're paying a whole lot more money to, Pete Alonso, hasn't gotten hits. Francisco Lindor hasn't gotten hits. You know, you can't. I understand that Beatty hasn't proven it yet at the major league level like Lindor and Alonso has, but I actually think one of the biggest issues, and I don't know how it should apply to every other team, but the Mets and the Astros played so much in the preseason. They saw each other so much. It was like a ridiculous amount of times that the Mets and the Astros, Mets and the Marlins, Mets and the Nationals, and Mets and the Cardinals played each other. I think it was like those four teams. I want to say like 90% of my live streams was Mets versus one of those four teams in spring training. And so, trying to get to the point. Sorry, guys, I just lost my stream. So you guys can fill in on what's going on. Don't worry. I got, so we're going to the bottom of the fourth. So Mets didn't score in the top of the fourth there. So we're going to the bottom of the fourth. It is 1-1. David Peterson has struck out 7 in 3 innings. All right, first pitch is a ball here. And I differed from a lot of Mets fans. I think the magic of last season, the OMG season, was kind of a good last season thing. I just Iglesias wasn't going to sign with the Mets for a 1-year deal. Shave? That's my whole brand. You wouldn't want me to shave. I promise you. It would not be pretty. I mean, it's still not pretty even with the beard, but it'd be even less, more not pretty, less pretty-ish. How's it going, Talking Koala? Hope you're doing well tonight. 3 balls and 1 strike. Popped up. And the ball drops in foul territory in between Beatty, Soto, and Alonso. There. Appreciate it, Reliz. Yeah, something is, the MLB app is like crazy weird right now. And Peterson does walk him, loses the leadoff batter here. So far he has shown that he can strike guys out and get out of innings, but you still never want those leadoff walks here. All right, so we got a runner on first, nobody out, bottom of the 4th inning. It is 1-1. Jonah Bride at the plate for the Marlins here. Yeah, I'm having a lot of issues with the MLB app. It's not just Wi-Fi or connection based right now. Like the whole app keeps on freezing. Sorry about that. We'll just keep trying. Last we knew, we got the Marlins with a runner on first, nobody out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Let's try reloading this stream one more time here. 2 balls and 2 strikes is the count here. So we're just out here. We're looking for some other order to deliver here. See what we can find, whether it's grocery shopping or just food delivery. Soto makes a sprinting catch. Throws it back to first, not able to double off the runner, but how's that for Juan Soto can't play defense? Yeah, forget, was it Stan? I can't remember if it was Stan who told me. Somebody told me about Profar. Like, why in the world would you do that? You're on a great team that has a chance to make a legit playoff run. What are you doing, Profar? What are you doing? It's like half a season. I don't know like the specifics of it. I just know that he got suspended. Peterson almost got him picked off at first. So, yeah, it's 80 games for the first. Like, I just don't understand, like, why. I understand maybe the temptation if you're a minor leaguer and you know minors coming to an end. You're a major leaguer on a potential playoff run team. Like, why would you even just mess around with anything that could possibly hinder? I don't get it. This ball lands first and third for the Marlins, 1 out. Took 2 out of 3 in Cincinnati, Arnell. It's a good start. Good start. Especially if you're winning on, hey, beat up on Houston for us. Because I don't want to say Houston whooped us. We kind of whooped ourselves because we couldn't get hits. So I think as long as you guys can score some runs, you'll be fine against Houston. So it's always nice when you can go on the road to start the season and win the first series on the road. No balls and 1 strike, 2 hits of the Marlins. Runners on first and third with 1 out. Peterson's got himself in a jam again. See if he can work his way out here. Bouncer to first. Alonso fields it, throws it to Acuna, throws it back to first for the double play. And once again, Peterson dances through the raindrops. And despite having runners on first and third with only 1 out, the Marlins do not score. Peterson works out of another jam. Great job by Peterson to get out of that. Peterson is doing his best to keep the Mets in this game, trying to give them time to score some runs, keeping the game tied there in the bottom of the 4th. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Top of the 5th inning. We are on commercial break, so you are not missing anything right now. I'm gonna make sure my audio is all caught up. Sometimes it gets a little bit behind with my GPS running. Appreciate everybody being here tonight. Yep, dancing between the raindrops. Tiny Tim was tiptoe through the tulips. David Peterson is dancing through the raindrops. How's it going, Casey? You better believe it's game time. The torpedo bats. So first of all, this is my little bit. I'm gonna maybe try to get a video together on this. I just don't know if I'm gonna have time to do it before it's no longer relevant. One, I think it's a stupid controversy. It's not even. It shouldn't even be a controversy. They're legal. The Yankees tried them. They work. Players try new equipment and new gear all the time, and half the time it doesn't work. You never hear about it again. Sometimes it does work, and if you want to have a bat made, have a bat made. Anybody can do it. These guys, most of these guys have $1 million contracts. They can pay for a $300, $500 bat. So I don't have any issues on that end. I don't even know, like, it's not like all the Yankees players are using it either. Aaron Judge isn't using it. It's like Jazz Chisholm, you know, and was it Austin Wells? I mean, there's a couple others, but it's not like there's this group of the whole Yankees lineup from 1 to 9 is all using the torpedo bat, and it's just impossible to get any of them out, and you know, so, and I mean, to be fair, the Brewers played today again and got absolutely smoked again today, but not by the Yankees. So is it possible the Brewers are just bad right now? I think that's very possible. I'm going to see if I can find that score. I'm going to get parked here really quick. I'm going to get parked here. It's just about sunset time. Got some nice New York Mets colored clouds over the horizon here. I'll see if I can show you guys here real quick. I don't know how, they're kind of orange and bluish here. Well, so there's the thing. So if they're doing something illegal, that's fine. But I don't imagine that they would be, at least in general. I think it's just, I don't think it's much different, unless there's actual proof. I don't think it's much different than when Babe Ruth used to swing like a huge 40-ounce bat. It's just that the weight is solidly concentrated at the end. Maybe. All right, so the Mets have a runner on top of the first. Again, sorry, my audio stream is really rough here tonight. Let's figure out what happened. Acuna got a single. Very good. Very good. I mean, if they're cheating, it's going to be found out. But Marucci, who is, I believe, one of the main producers of these bats, I think the reason that this is a controversy is I've got a theory that the controversy has much more to do with the fact of other bat companies are not happy. So I want to see if I can find this. Yeah, the Brewers lost 11-1 to the Royals today. So nice. So that's good. That's good for Acuna that he can do it. Beat out that play at first. All right, we got 2 balls and 2 strikes here. Oh, hold on. Sears got the ball. It goes over the head. Acuna's going around third. He's going to score. It's a double for the strikeout king, Jose Alexa. There you go. The strikeout king with the key hit. That's what you're going to get. That's why Siri's going to be your 9-hole hitter. You know, he's not going to clog up the bases if he does get on base because he's fast enough. He's going to strike out a ton. But occasionally he's going to get into one. Hit some home runs, hit some doubles. And he's just swinging for the fences. That's his job. Lindor's in uniform in the dugout? No way. Lindor loves this team, guys. I mean, Lindor is like the epitome of just loving baseball, but he loves this team. And I'm not saying he doesn't love his family, because he obviously loves his family too, but that's so cool. Can't keep him out of the dugout. So it is 2-1 Mets with the lead here in the top of the 5th inning. Marte at the plate. Still 2-2 Marte here in the top of the 5th. And Marte is hit by the pitch. We'll take it as long as Marte's not hurt. So Mets will have runners first and second. Nobody out on the top of the 5th. Already 1 run in. And Mr. Juan Soto coming to the plate. Is this going to be the inning, guys? Is this going to be the inning where the Mets just explode? I don't know much about that culture, but I know Lindor loves his family. I'm sure Soto loves his family too. I know Lindor loves his family, but he has a passion for this team and a passion for baseball that's so huge. Ball 1 to Juan Soto. Pete Alonso on deck. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's cool to see a guy who is great at baseball, who loves baseball, also loves his family, and of course, I still remember bringing his daughter in. She's going Buck, back when Buck Showalter was with the Mets. 2 balls and 1 strike to Soto here. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Three balls and 2 strikes. Cha-cha slide, Crow? I cannot. My daughter can. She learned it at a school retreat this year, so she knows it. Cha-cha. real smooth. Side to the left. Side to the right. One stomp this time. Two stomps this time. Ball four. Soto gets the walk here. It is bases loaded. Nobody out. And it is time for Pete Alonso to start working on earning his contract for next season that he wants to opt out for. Cha-cha real smooth, y'all. All right. So Quantrill is still in there for now. So Pete Alonso up, bases loaded, nobody out, top of the fifth, Mets up 2-1. Pete needs to bust out here. He got the seeing eye single last inning, or last at bat. It's time for him to do some damage right here. Marlins move the infield in, so anything hard through the infield is gonna probably get through and score two. You got Siri on third, Marte on second, Soto on first. Plenty of speed. One ball, one strike to Pete Alonso. Ball two, 2 balls, 1 strike. Pete is trying to bust this game wide open. Be really nice to see this offense start clicking the way that they're supposed to. 2 balls, 1 strike. Let's see. 3 balls and 1 strike. There's nowhere to put them. You've got Nimmo on deck for the Mets. Foul ball down the right field line. It's going to be 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count to Pete Alonso here. Another foul ball. Pete Alonso hits home runs. Yeah. Now would be the right time, Red Man. Pete Alonso has barely over 200 batting average lifetime with the bases loaded. It's definitely something that limits him in his contract negotiations. Tony Rivera. Pete is on the Mets. Pete re-signed for the Mets. 2-year deal. He has an opt-out after this year. Full count here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Drive in the air. Grand salami for Pete Alonso. Redman, you called it, Redman. Pete Alonso hit home run. It is a Pete Alonso grand slam. The Mets slump is officially broken. The Mets take a 6-1 lead. Pete Alonso is trying to rewrite, because I think there's still skepticism. Can Pete hit in the big situations? And Marlins decided to do a pitching change now, about 2 batters too late. Well, there you go. I mean, so Pete Alonso, I think obviously the home run in the playoffs last year was huge, but I still think there's some doubt around Pete as to how well he can do in pressure situations. And look, I'm not expecting a grand slam there, but I do want to see a well-driven ball that, in the very least, is a difficult out in the outfield and guarantees a run scores. And certainly a home run is great, but a double there, a solid single, even just a hard line drive to the outfield. And Pete's showing, like, you can't always control the results in baseball, but you can certainly control, some of the effort and the plate approach. And again, Pete took his time there. That was on a 3. Was that on a 3-2 count? Do I remember that right? We're on commercial break right now, by the way. Let me see. Was that? I think that was on a 3-2 count. Nope, Tony. I'm not a delusional Mets fan. Yeah, so we've been talking a lot about Pete having better plate discipline coming into this season. And even though it hadn't shown it in the stat line quite yet, that approach seems good. Yeah. So Tony, we're family friendly, F-bomb free. That's kind of like what we're at. We like to have good sports discussion and good debate. Razz on each other a little bit, but all in good fun. Nothing crazy like that. No, I'm like the most. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not a homer. Obviously, I'm a homer with certain things, but I think I'm fairly rational. I don't get too high on my team. I don't get too low on my team. You said you're a Philly fan? Yeah, so it'll be good. No, like I try to be fairly even keeled. I mean, like I picked the Phillies to win the division this year. And I have Phillies versus Mets in the National League Championship Series. It's gonna take the Mets. The Mets are gonna have to figure out how to upset the Dodgers to do it, because I think the Phillies will be the 2 seed. So I've got Dodgers as the 1 seed, Phillies as the 2 seed, going into the playoffs, and then I've got the Braves missing the playoffs, and it's on. And of course, I mean, is it a little homerism to think the Mets can make the World Series this year? Yeah, I'm sure it's a little bit, but it's based more so on the fact that this team is better than last year's team, and I think there's an improvement there. And I think if the Mets pitching is better than most people think, which I think most Mets fans think that our pitching is better than what most people think, it's kind of based on that. But I do think for like the long season, I think the Phillies will definitely have a better record than the Mets. And I honestly hope, like, I could see nothing better than a Mets-Phillies National League Championship Series. That's where I want to meet the Phillies. So, yeah, like, it's going to be good. And I think there's going to be battles. And honestly, I think we can both be united in saying, let's just hope that the Braves don't even make the playoffs. Let's just... Yeah, no, I mean, I'm jealous as the former team of Zach Wheeler. I'm very jealous of how well he has developed. I never wanted to let Zach Wheeler go, but yeah, no, I mean, I think Carlos Mendoza is really the steal that he's the steal, and he's really the kind of the glue that has held this team together. And hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, man. My son had his first pitching performance, Tony, for Little League. Not his first, but his first like multi-inning one where they like actually trusted him. And You know, there are some kids, he could throw that high strike at their eyes and they just swing at every single one of them. So it's like sometimes you just got to throw it where they're going to swing at it. I mean, that's been the way to get Pete Alonso out for years. Don't throw Pete a strike, just throw him up at the eyeballs. So, totally get it. By the way, Starling Marte struck out swinging. Or sorry, Nim. Yeah, wow, I'm all messed up here. We got Nimmo at the plate here. Sorry, just. All right. Vientos draws a walk. I think we're caught up here. Sorry about that. This is hard to do. I promise you, I'm doing my best, but a radio feed that cuts in and out. You don't believe in the Phillies, Rels? I mean, I don't want to ever face Bryce Harper. Home run for Torrens? Nobody has any clue what's going on here on the broadcast. Did Torrens just hit a 2-run homer? My goodness. Oh, it's nice to face the Marlins. It is. I'll tell you one rule that needs to be I think needs to be implemented here. Out of the glove and over the wall. Yeah, like Howie Rose is like all confused. Like they're trying to explain what's going on. And nobody knew. And they're saying like Vientos is standing between first and second. I'm not a fan of like implementing lots of new rules with baseball. You know me, I'm a traditionalist. Yeah, hey, we'll take it. But I do think that there needs to be some sort of rule about if you make the catch, you need to show it right away. Because runners need to know what to do based on, and the umpires need to be able to make the call. So there's all this like faking that you caught it when you didn't, or faking that you didn't catch it when you did. I think that's something that needs to at least be considered. And I don't know how you enforce it. So I guess they're going to review it to see if it hit glove and then fence. So it looks like they reviewed it. We're good. Hey, we said, is this the inning that the Mets break out? And apparently that answer is yes. I don't know. I'm just getting what I can hear on the thing. I guess they just wanted to see if it had somehow tipped the wall or something with it. But I just feel like on those plays where it's like you don't know if the outfielder actually has the ball, or I guess it could be an infielder too if there's like running into the, I feel like somehow umpires need to have the information to make the call, or runners need to be not held liable or something like that. Yeah, I was like, I don't really like rooting for the Dodgers, but I really don't like rooting for the Braves. So I'm like, let's just have the Dodgers. Let's have the Braves go down 0-7. Got it. Got it. I understand. Yeah, see, it's... Two balls, two strikes to Brett Beatty now at the plate. Which is... So here's the whole thing. It's unlikely that this whole Mets team is going to stay slumping for long. This is the Soto advantage that we have this year that we didn't have in previous years. It's not just about what he brings to the stat line. There's a base hit for Beatty. Dolphins, Tony. So I'm Mets and Dolphins. It's kind of a. There's a double for Brett Beatty as well. This team is waking up. Yeah, so that's actually where I got the name of the channel from. So it's MetropoliFins. So the Metropolitans, you know, which is like the long form name of the Mets, and then the Dolphins for the Fins. Yep. This is like you've got to just. It's a new team trying to find their new identity, and it helps to go against a really bad team as opposed to the Astros are a good team. You faced them on the road. You played them like 10 times in spring training. They knew your lineup up and down. They had every advantage being the home team. We pitched amazing. They just kind of had that. 21 with torpedoes. Beatty was going to be caught off second base, but they cut the throw off. So there's 2 outs now. Jose Sears at the plate, which in the very least means that we turn off the lineup over. The Mets have more than batted around this inning. 7 runs in. Two balls and 1 strike to Jose Siri here. Yeah, so the Mets have more than batted around this inning. Even if Siri strikes out here, the strikeout king strikes out. First of all, foul ball, grounded towards third. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jose Siri. Grounder to second for Siri. He's going to be retired at first. That is going to retire the side, but a great inning by the Mets. They scored more runs in that inning than they have scored the entire season up until now. So that was quite the inning. So, well, for that, hit that like, hit that subscribe. We are MetropoliFins, YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel, coming to you with our first big, exciting inning to celebrate. I mean, yeah, the Mets won a game, but that was the first big inning, hopefully, of many that the Mets will do. Everyone pressing the panic button can suddenly relax here and do that. It's been really slow with orders, but I wasn't really pursuing them too much, just sitting here. We'll see if we can get 1 or 2 more orders over the next couple of innings, make a couple of deliveries. So appreciate each and every one of you being here with us tonight. The Mets appreciate being in Miami. So it is 8-1 Mets. We are headed to the bottom of the 5th inning. Gamecast on my phone is just completely stuck on Brett Beatty's at bat, so. We'll just try to stay up to date with everything coming through the headphones here, so. All right. Of course, Peterson is still in this game. If he can get through this inning, it will put him in line for the win. I mean, Peterson and McGill. I believe McGill got the win the other day, too. So it would be Peterson and McGill both be 1-0 to start the season. And there's a strikeout. Nice, easy strikeout to start the bottom of the 5th inning for David Peterson. You're Mets and Dolphins too, Rels? Awesome. Well, you definitely found your home. Frank the Tank. Isn't Frank the Tank also Mets Dolphins? I think he's also Mets Dolphins. Not that I necessarily ascribe to all of his takes. It's going to be a double for the Marlins here. So a double for the Marlins here with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Xavier Edwards batting for the Marlins now. I'm going to drive around a little bit since that crazy inning is over, because there's obviously no orders coming in over here. The reason I'm out here and not just doing this from home is to make a little bit of money. So if I'm not moving, if I'm not making money sitting, I might as well move, see if we can find some order somewhere. Of course, it's past the main supper time. Still a little bit of light in the sky at 8:15 at night. I absolutely love it. All right, grounder to Peterson, and they catch the guy on second in a rundown, so they're going to get the lead runner there. The batter will reach base, but go from runner on second with 1 out to a runner on first with 2 outs. That definitely works in the Mets' favor there. Good job with Beatty Vientos pulling off a nice little rundown play. So we're just driving, see if we can find some other orders somewhere else other than where we were. All right, looks like we're actually going to go shopping, everybody, which means my commentary is going to be a little bit limited while I shop, but I'll try to give you some little updates as we go. I got to go grocery shopping for like 14 items here really quick. So we're going to head to Publix. It's one of our regional chains that we have down here for groceries. I remember when I was in New Jersey, because I grew up in New Jersey, I remember we had ShopRite and Price Chopper. Those are the two I remember from New Jersey. Bodegas, is that what it is? Am I seeing that right, Jonathan? I remember, yeah, Price Chopper and ShopRite. And for whatever reason, I thought ShopRite was the good one. Price Chopper was like the bad store. Bad people went to Price Chopper. That's what we had in our town, at least. Does ShopRite still exist? Beatty catches a soft little liner, and Peterson once again dances through the raindrops. Peterson is in line for the win through 5 innings. Even with that long rest on the bench, he still came out, gave up the 1 double. Yeah, ShopRite's still around. All right. That's the old stomping ground. Dancing through the tulips, David Peterson. Pitching strikeouts. That's my best Tiny Tim impression. I gotta go quiet while I'm grocery shopping here really quick. So we're going to the top of the 6th inning, but I'm gonna bring you guys in because you'd be really bored sitting out in the car. I might temporarily lose connection when I get into the store and have to connect to the store Wi-Fi. We'll see what it's looking like in there. But we'll go fast. I'm going to try to shop this fast, and then we'll go deliver it. Got to go shop and drop 15 items or 14 items for $15, something like that. So, better than sitting around doing nothing. So we're going shopping. I believe it is Start Mart. I think Marte is leading off. Well, he's going to take the parking spot I wanted to take. All right, here we go. I'm going to bring you guys with me. I'm still going to be listening to the game, but I can only talk so loud in an actual grocery store here. Yep. Marte leads off. No balls and 1 strike. Hey. Andres Jimenez from the Francisco Lindor trade. Home runs in back-to-back days. Marte just hit with another pitch. Breaking ball in the back. Poor Marte. He's too old to get hit like that. All right. We're gonna I'm gonna get you guys apart. So we're still talking Mets while we grocery shop. Is their iced tea really good? Publix iced tea and Publix lemonade is really good too. You'll get some background music here too from whatever they're playing over the speakers. But I'm not monetized, so it doesn't matter yet. So, all right, let's see what we gotta go find. We're gonna try to shop really fast. Juan Soto at the plate here. Awesome. That's cool. Yeah, that's where we always shopped growing up. I didn't even really know there was other grocery store chains other than ShopRite and Price Chopper until I got older. I'll show you everything I'm shopping to. Soda's at the plate. I'll let you know if it happens. Red bell pepper, 1-1 to Soto.
Double play ball hit by Soto. Two outs, nobody on. We just got another shopping order to add on to this too, so we're actually going to be shopping for two people. I need to go get a couple more baskets. So it's going to take a couple more minutes now, but the second order is actually better than the first. They're giving me another like $16 to shop for 8 more items, so we're going to take that. Can't pass down free money. We got to work for it. It's not really free. Excuse me. Two and two to Pete. Pete Alonso at the plate. All right, we got bananas. Foul ball by Pete. Another full count for Pete Alonso. So good with the patience this year. So good. Pete Alonso still at the plate. And Pete walks. Midnight going. Two outs. Top of the sixth, Pete Alonso on first. 8-1 Mets. That's what we got going on right now. And I'm looking for cucumbers. Alright, now carrots. 0-2 pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Carrots. 1 ball, 2 strikes still on Nimmo. He fouls that one away. How's it going, Midnight? I saw the sign while I'm shopping for vegetables. High fly ball for Nimmo. Home run. Brandon Nimmo, 10-1 New York Mets. Let's go, Nemo. Everybody breaking out tonight. Alright, gotta go find coleslaw. I am doing well. It's been a good delivery day, and the Mets are absolutely crushing. So everything works out well. Spike the milk jug. I don't think we're using the torpedoes. We're just playing the Marlins. It's just as good as using the torpedo bat. I know, it's good. This is the team we expected. Vientos strikes out, going to the bottom of the 6th inning here. Peterson should still come out. He's pitching great. It's time to go look for some baloney. It's the shopping for all the fruits and veggies is always the slowest part for me. Everything else I usually fly pretty quick. Yeah, the Marlins start, and then they're just going to get absolutely rocked by it. So if you're going to start something like the torpedo bats, you got to figure out how to not let everybody else know about it. You can't let everybody else know what your advantage is, because the advantage is only going to last for, what, a month? Before every player who wants it will have it. Alright, we got to go pickles first, I guess. Pickle aisle. So the Yankees kind of popularized it, which is why everyone hates it. But yeah, no, I think I saw the same thing, Stan, that there was a connection to the Marlins being some of the first ones. Well, that'll be it. Old-fashioned sweet. How is that not the same thing? Sliders. Come on. Bread and butter chips. Alright. We got our pickles. Is that what it is? I got to do some research. I'm working on trying to put together like my own take on it. I don't think the torpedo thing is really that big of a deal. I think it's just a fun talking point for everybody, but it's not like it's something that other people couldn't use. It's just that the early adopters get a slight advantage for a couple of weeks. Home run for the Marlins here, 10-2. Home run harbor deck. Wagaman. Sweet chili sauce. Nothing in one here. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm kind of just getting caught up on it, but I really think the only reason it's such a craze right now is because the Yankees are the ones who did it. Like, if it was the Royals using it, nobody would care. It's just because everybody likes to hate on the Yankees, which I get as a Mets fan. I understand why people want to hate on the Yankees. 10-2, Mets over the Marlins. But it's nice. See, now Peterson can just be aggressive and go at these guys. Line drive to Beatty, caught. 1 out here. Bottom 6. Bubbly cherry. Bubbly cherry. Grapefruit, lime, mango, raspberry, out of cherry. Blackberries back up. One ball, 2 strikes. 1 out, bottom 6, 10-2. Mets over the Marlins. Another line to right field base hit. So maybe Peterson's starting to lose it here. He has had some long waits on the bench. I don't want them to leave him in too long. He had a great start. Let's get him out sooner rather than later. I gotta get a couple refrigerated things and then some frozen things, and then we're out. Baloney. Good job. Hey, good job fact-checking, guys. I'd seen... Yeah, I guess I didn't realize he had started with the Yankees. I knew the Yankees were the ones popularizing it, but... I mean, didn't Babe Ruth used to swing like a 40-ounce bat or something crazy like that? Let's see. I need milk and cottage cheese, pie crust. It's got to be somewhere down this way. CNN. Lots of milk. Pie crust. $87 pitches for Peterson, so you got to imagine this could be his last batter, or certainly is going to be his last inning. I can't imagine they're going to bring him out again. I think it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs. Strike 3 called. If that's Peterson's last pitch, that's a great way to just end this inning. Was that nine strikeouts, I believe? That's a great pitching performance for David Peterson today. Not just the stat line, but also he had a couple of really tough innings that he worked his way out of. The only runs he gave up were solo home runs. You can't ask for anything better. 10-2 Mets headed to the top of the 7th inning. And I'm looking for some edamames. Edamames. And now we gotta go find some ice cream, and we're done shopping. We gotta go drop these 2 orders off. Make sure I got the orders separated correctly too, since they added the second one on after we started shopping the first. We'll make sure we have it all good. It's a commercial break right now, so you're not missing anything. How am I doing shopping and narrating at the same time? This is the right aisle. Aisle 10, not aisle 8. This is the garlic bread aisle. I need to find the ice cream aisle. Yeah, so that's the other question too, is how much of that is just Yankee hitters destroying a really struggling Brewers team with a really short porch. They added a couple items. I gotta. More ice cream. Oh, Profar is also ineligible for the postseason too, so it's not just an 80-game suspension; it's ineligible for the postseason. Man, just threw that all away. Terenz retired here, top of the 7th, 1 out, 10-2 Mets. All right, I gotta grab water and some fried chicken. And then we're actually done for real the second time. Thought we were done, then they added a couple more. So as long as they don't add anything else, we're good. Plus they're closing here at 9 o'clock, so I got this to go. No balls, 2 strikes on Brett Beatty. Beatty had a good hit last at bat. It sounds like Huascar Brazoban is warming up. probably taken over for Peterson. Peterson ended right around 90 pitches. Ground out to short for Beatty there. Not yet. Top of the 7th. We will win. Arnell, this game is pretty much over, but it's not officially over yet, so never count your chickens before their eggs. Alright, I gotta do a replacement here. Soto is awesome, Arnell. Soto has done amazing. They have hot and spicy wings, or I can refund your fried chicken, period. Just let me know. All right, we're going to the bottom of the 7th inning. Yeah, I don't know his exact average. He's hitting right around 400. They finally broke out this game. The offense finally woke up. All right. I gotta take it to the airport.
This one, right?
Yeah. This is the first order. The second order here.
Got you, bro.
I think the first one is trying to change your order as we speak.
This is the first one.
Yes, comma, they were cleaning up the deli. Too late for fried chicken. Oh, sorry, I have one more thing for that order. I just saw it in the here. I got water. I'll be right back with you guys. Hold on.
Anything else? That's it?
That's it for the first one. Very good.
Comme pas d'original papier, la même bagarre, c'est foutu. Non, depuis le premier.
Can we go? I don't know if we're gonna. I want to keep them separate. Go up top and underneath for the first one, please.
Big Money Man, what's going on, man?
We're making it. We're making it through. It's been a long day.
I got $35 on for it.
What was that?
That $35 on that for $35.
Yeah, this one was, yeah, it's about 35. So, yeah.
I got you. I know.
They added this one on after I started shopping the first one. I think so. This one was like, they actually paid me more for the smaller one than for the bigger one.
It's good. It's a good.
It's good. We'll take, especially this time of night when I'm like ready to go home.
Yeah. You all set, my man.
All right. Thank you so much. All set. Thank you so much. Have a good night. All right, we're gonna get right back to baseball action here in just a second. 10-2, bottom of the seventh, 2 outs. Sorry, I had to be friendly. Got to be friendly to the cashier. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us, even in the midst of doing some crazy late night shopping. Ground out to Beatty. And that is going to end the bottom of the 7th inning. Brazaman continues the stellar performance by the New York Mets bullpen to start the season. All right, we got hot chicken. Sorry, it's kind of a weird camera angle with all this stuff, but doing the best we can. Best way that you can help me, if you want me just sitting at a computer watching this game with you, hit that like, hit that subscribe, get the word out as we grow this channel. Loading up the car, and we'll be back, hopefully focused with you guys here. Alright, put the cart back. We won't be that guy. We're going to the top of the 8th inning. Mets are up 10-2. And here's a crazy thing. It's not like the Mets had a great first few innings. It's more that they finally strung a bunch of hits together at a key time. Highlighted, of course, by Pete Alonso's grand slam, showing what he wants to show everybody, which is he knows how to play in big situations. Gregory Malarkey, let's go Mets, baby! Better believe it. This is the first game of the season that's actually been just fun. First fun Mets game of the season. We've had some great pitching performances, but we have not had many. Just, it hasn't been fun games. All right, so hang with me here. All right, I know the neighborhood this first one is going into here. Let me give you a quick little game reset before I get driving, because we got to drive nice and safe and sound and all of that. It is
All right, it is 10-2 Mets with 1 out in the top of the 8th inning. Starling Marte will be at the plate, and I'll give you play-by-play as much as I can between now and our first drop-off, which is about 10 minutes away. Got to get out of this Publix parking lot. This Publix closes at 9 o'clock, so took these orders just in time. Really nice, actually. A nice couple of orders, like $35 for 2 orders. Something like that, between 30 and 35, so. One ball, no strikes, to Starling Marte here. Top of the 8th inning with 1 out. One ball, 1 strike to Marte. One ball, 2 strikes to Marte. Foul back. Mets are up 10-2. Basically, the goal of this game is just get out, have good bullpen performance, get out of this game as easy as possible the rest of the way, and get back to 500, get back to a 2-2 record, and sit back and hope that the Dodgers wallop the Braves. And Marte is called out on strike 3. So 2 outs in the top of the 8th for the Mets. All right, so we are hanging out with you here. It is the top of the 8th inning. Juan Soto at the plate. And he grounds the ball to second. Throws to first, and Soto is retired. We are headed to the bottom of the 8th inning. Your New York Mets are absolutely crushing the Marlins 10-2. Another great pitching performance today by David Peterson. So far, the Mets bullpen has been stellar as well. Mets pitching has been just absolute fire. Oh yeah, and Kodai Senga pitches tomorrow. Arguably our best starter when he's healthy is actually our number 5 starter, and get him going tomorrow. So that's one other thing I would say about our start is, like, yeah, you got to remember that it's not that realistically McGill and Canning are number 2 and 3 starters. That's just where they kind of fell in the rotation. You know, Peterson and Senga would definitely be, you know, Holmes, Peterson, Senga are our top 3 starters. So you could almost think of it like today as like the start of the pitching rotation. Peterson 1, Senga 2, Holmes 3. You can mix and match whatever way you like the best for any of those guys. So it's nice that there's a lot of flexibility to go with all of that. Just zipping through some back roads here, dropping off our grocery order. Your commercial break so you're not missing anything right now. Going to the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll see if Brazaban comes out again for the Mets. He got the Marlins out in the bottom of the 7th. We shall see if he comes out for the 8th as well. Or if the Mets are going to give somebody else. I don't know. Has every Mets bullpen guy made it. How's it going, Poker Rush? Hope you are doing well. I hope you are doing as well as the Mets are tonight. Mets got a 10-2 lead. The Bats finally woke up. Took them 4 games. But this is the Mets team we were expecting to see. Torpedo bats! Oh yeah, man, it's the hot topic. I'm gonna try to put together my full take on it tonight. I'm fine with it. Even as a traditionalist, I mean, from everything that I've heard, MLB has ruled that they're legal. You know, I mean, I guess there's rumors that they're being corked or whatever, but I mean, obviously if people are cheating, I don't like that, but if they're legal, I've got no issue with it. I mean, remember, Babe Ruth used to swing like a 40-ounce bat. Yeah, like, obviously pitchers might not like it, but this is... Okay, so I tend to be somewhat critical of analytics in general because I think sometimes it messes with players. But if this is a new tool that helps a guy who normally hits doubles hit homers, or a guy who normally hits singles be able to hit doubles, I got no issues with it. Anybody can buy it. You can order it if you want, right? You got $500. Marucci will make you one. They'll even, engrave your name on it or however much it is. Yeah, well, it's not even, like, that's the thing. It's like, it's not even cheating. It's just an equipment improvement. You know, baseball gloves are a lot different now than they were 20 years ago, too. So, exactly. It's not like it's all the Yankees. I think the main reason that it's so controversial, I honestly think the main reason is maybe 2 things. One, it's the Yankees that kind of first brought this to light. Had it been like the Royals or the Marlins or, whatever, the Twins, does anybody care if the Twins were doing it? Like, nobody cares. But because it was the Yankees that kind of had some success with it right away, that's always going to make anything a lightning rod. Just because of the fan base, and the Yankees are a fun team to hate. Everybody loves to hate the Yankees. So there's that. But there's also like the financial side of all this, which is, Louisville Slugger's kind of been the traditional baseball bat company. And now you got like Marucci, who's been making grounds. I mean, they've made aluminum bats for years, but now they're really starting to make some inroads into the MLB market and market share. So I don't understand, honestly, why it's so controversial personally, but yeah, I mean, it's the way baseball is going. I mean, home runs, like the McGuire-Sosa home run chase was so much fun. It's like, I mean, I think the only concern I would have is is the speed off the bat significantly better, or is it just a bigger sweet spot? Because as long as it's not significantly increasing the speed off the bat where injuries to pitchers, balls hit back to pitchers that would hit a pitcher in the head would become like more lethal. Like, I think there would be danger there. But if the exit velo off the bat, and I haven't looked up these numbers yet, but if I try to be non-partisan. I try to be a pretty level-headed sports fan. I've gone through my years of rage with sports, and I think I've come to a happy place with it. Like, here's the thing. The difference, like, if MLB has said it's not cheating, so I'm going to take MLB's word for it. And literally anyone could order. I think Marucci said they had 20 major leaguers reach out to them this weekend to order the bat. So if it's a piece of equipment that's legal and it helps you, great. I mean, I think the sliding mitts are kind of silly, but if it helps you have more confidence in stealing bases and you feel like you can slide head first safely and know your fingers and wrists are going to be fine, I don't care. It's just a piece of equipment. So my only concern, and I don't know the numbers, would be is if exit velo off the bat would be significantly faster and thus more dangerous to pitchers. And I say that as I'm a dad of a kid who hopes to be a major league pitcher someday, or a major league player or whatever. So, yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, but my point is like, who cares? You can use it or you can not use it. Because people might say it causes less injuries, but it might also say, well, people are going to be more aggressive sliding in. Well, whatever. If the equipment's legal, let whoever use it who wants to use it. Yeah, I mean, but how does it compare to Babe Ruth's old bat? I'd love to know that. Like, because Babe Ruth swung a 40-ounce bat, I believe. I would imagine that was a pretty big sweet spot. You know, so if this is kind of just a bigger barrel like Babe Ruth, but the lighter weight like players are used to swinging, so they can still whip it through the zone. Sounds like a good use of technology to me. All right, I gotta find this. We'll get you caught up on the game here in a second. I gotta go drop off this first order. Yeah, eventually, Poker Rush, eventually we'll do some more stuff. I'm gonna focus on the live streams for right now, but eventually we'll do some call-ins or we'll do some collabs. I'm working on some things. I'm working on some stuff behind the scenes. So right now my problem is I gotta make money some way, and I can't do it through this YouTube channel yet. So I'm just trying to build up the following as best as I can while still making the money I need to do to take care of my family. And goal 1 is get to 500 subscribers. So I've got a plan that can maybe jumpstart that here shortly. So I'll tell you more about it in a second. Hold on. Good evening. Good. Yeah, sorry about the chicken. They were just got to the point where they were cleaning all that stuff up. All right. I appreciate the sub, Poker Rush. So yeah, I teased this a little bit the other day. I'm not gonna say who. Let me get out of this driveway here really quick. (10-2) going to the top of the 9th here for the Mets. So 1 hit, no runs scored by the Marlins in the bottom of the 8th there. So 10-2 Mets. All right, so yeah, I had the opportunity this weekend to interview a baseball player. And not just any baseball player, I'm not going to say who, but an all-star, and not just an all-star, a Hall of Famer. So I had the opportunity to interview a Hall of Fame baseball player this weekend. So I've got that coming, and I'm hoping, I want to make sure I have kind of all the channel's ducks in a row. That way, if the interview goes kind of crazy, which I hope it will, and I think it will, but I'm still waiting for, I have an alternate camera angle. So I have 2 camera angles from it, and so I'm waiting to see that and sit down and get it all edited so it looks nice and figure out what style I want to do with it. So yeah, hey, hang out for a while, Poker Rush, get the vibe of the channel. Like, this channel's family friendly and F-bomb free. Like, that's what I'm all about. Yeah. So I think so. So I just want to, okay, so you were here when I mentioned that. So, yeah, so basically I just want to make sure I've got, well, first of all, I want to make sure it's edited right. You know, get the audio on it as good as I can. I mean, I'm working with super limited resources, but I want to make sure I have everything on the channel ready to go, you know, and everything. And I'm still waiting for, like I said, the second video cut. I'm still waiting for. I might have it. I just haven't gotten to check yet tonight. So we're going to get that out, and I'm going to get at least 2 pieces of content out of that video, like 2 long form pieces, because this player also helped coach my son's Little League team that day. So I'm going to take some clips from that and splice that up as well. But I think I'll do the interview first, because that's going to take less editing. You know, I'm just a guy doing this all by himself here, so I don't have a team. So, and then just for everybody here, like I do have a separate YouTube channel that is chronicling my journey of getting out of debt. So that's so I'll probably have a piece of content that I'm going to do from there about what I learned about interviewing, you know. So kind of that's more like behind the scenes. And that channel is technically monetized, but I only make like $1 or $2 a day over there. So the goal here is eventually to get this channel up to 500 subscribers, and then we can start building out channel memberships and cool stuff like that. And I would love it. I think I came up with a goal tonight, which is so I guess the Mets play Miami for the final series of the season in Miami. So the Mets start their season here in Miami. I know they technically start in Houston, but you know, they have these games in Miami, and then it's followed up at the very end of the season, so the next time they come back to Miami. So my goal is to be in a position where, for the channel, being in the spot where I could actually afford to go to that game, come whenever that would be, like September, maybe October, whenever that is. So that's kind of a goal that I've set. So we're gonna try to get there, and I'll have some football content and some other sports content on it. And I have to get comfortable with still just kind of hopping on topics faster, you know, like the torpedo bats and stuff like that, and trying to figure all of that out. So yeah, well, I was gonna do, the first thing I was gonna do, Poker Rush, was what I did wrong and what I did right in my first interview of a Hall of Famer. You know, because there were certain things, because I tried to figure out how to actually do an interview. Like, I've never interviewed someone other than, you know, like those little silly school assignments. And so I'll probably put that on the other channel, but I don't want to put that video up on the other channel until I can link over to the MetropoliFins channel. So, because I'm still figuring out the balance between the 2 channels for sure. So all right, so we're dropping off our second order here. The Mets are out, by the way, at the top of the 9th. The Mets got out. Sorry, we were talking about other stuff. So the Marlins are coming up for the bottom of the 9th, down 10-2. Yeah, for sure. And the talking Mets while I'm food delivering and stuff, this is something I did actually on the other channel before I started the sports channel. It's actually what's inspired starting the sports channel, because we had so many people who were enjoying that. But that channel, I wanted to be all about like life improvement, and I just wanted that to be about something different. And I could have started a new life improvement and made that one sports, but I had enough videos over there already that were getting views that I didn't want to lose them and have to repost them and start fresh. So I don't know. It was too much though, because I would have people who would come on for sports stuff and subscribe, and then my next video would have nothing to do with sports, and they'd be like, I'm out. It's called a side hustle. If you, after I deliver this, I can post a link to the channel. So the goal of that channel is moving 10,000 people from stupidly broken to fully free. So I talk about spiritual, physical, emotional, mental, and financial freedom over on that channel. That's the key. So, but I also do lots of like, I help people who are trying to like make extra money through side hustles and stuff too. Part of the financial freedom journey and stuff. So I'll post a link in the chat here in just a second. It's a little hard to find because if you just type in a side hustle, it just brings up all these side hustle videos, which there's like thousands of them on YouTube. So I do the same thing on that channel as I'm doing tonight, just not with the sports commentaries. I'll do like ride-alongs. Kate, who's one of the moderators on this channel, she and I actually did a collab over there the other day. We just did a joint food delivery at the same time. I believe that was Saturday night. So I've done 2 collabs, and I'm like kind of getting my feet wet. It's a little weird because like in this YouTube world, you end up collabing with people that you've never met in real life, and obviously there's always a slight bit of risk of that because I've got my particular vibe of who I am and what I'm all about, and just want to make sure, because I'm all about just trying to make sure I'm making content that my family can watch. So, all right, hold on, I'll be right back. Good evening, how are you? I'm doing well. Yep. All right, we dropped that one off. I gotta get out of this person's driveway here too, so hold on one second. We'll find a safe place to park. This game is just about over, everybody, so I'll give you an update. Had to do some delivery things here as well, because we got to make some money while we're out here. So let me get out of this person's driveway so they don't think I'm a creeper. And then we're going to get the game going again here. It's almost done, if not done already. All right, it's bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, runner on first. Marlins are up, but they are down 10-2. So let me finish this up, and I'm actually going to start driving in the direction of home. And then I will get that link posted here shortly as well. All right, the Marlins get another runner on. It is runners on first and third with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. This is Danny Young is pitching for the Mets, by the way. So obviously the Mets have some margin for error, but I don't imagine that anyone's going to have a super long leash here at this point in time. Yes, we finally had the game that we've been expecting. No balls and 1 strike here. I'm going to just park at Carrabba's really quick. And then I'll post a link for anyone who's interested in the other channel. That channel's a lot older. There is some actual older sports commentary stuff on there, but I don't actively put anything else sports up there right now. So let me pull the other account up. Oh, the Mets give up their first bullpen run of the season. Danny Young didn't quite have it tonight. It is 10-3 Mets here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Share, copy link. Here, it's gonna be easiest for me to just post from the other channel actually. I'll just post from the other channel. If it'll let me. It should let me. I don't even think you need everything that comes after that. So. One of those should work. I'm going to make myself a moderator on my own channel. Too. That way, if I ever need to, I can always pop in and mod from that side. So there it is. Or you can just do the at a side of hustle. So that's the channel that's all about life improvement, finding freedom in soul, heart, mind, strength, and wallet. So. Wouldn't. Walgreens shop and pay. Oh, we might have to do that. That's gonna. All right, I'm gonna take the shopping order here. I think I'm gonna. Are you guys seeing the side of hustle? Are you guys seeing that? I think it blocked it because it was a link. There. It probably got spam blocked. You should be able to see that one. There it is. I can post it from me on this channel. So that is my other channel. It is 10-4. Okay, this is not good. All right. Danny Young definitely does not have it. It is 10-4 Mets here on the bottom of the 9th. So when the game is over, hopefully soon, I am going to cut the stream. How much patience is Mendoza going to have here? I don't know. I mean, obviously, it doesn't matter yet. Appreciate it, Poker Rush. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. This has to be his last batter if he doesn't get him, right? Swing and a miss. He got him. All right. Got it. On the one night that our offense goes off, our bullpen has to struggle just a little bit, right? That only seems fair. It's the first 2 runs allowed by the Mets bullpen the entire season. If there's a time to do it, it's here. Obviously, it's not a great performance. So, with that in mind, the Mets have had their most convincing victory of the season, a 10-4 win, notably a Pete Alonso home run, and it was a grand slam, and it was when it really mattered. It wasn't just like a throwaway home run. It was a home run when it really mattered. Also, Starling Marte had a solo home run to tie things up for the Mets. So if you're one of those like Pete Alonso doubters in the sense of like, well, he's really good, but he can't hit in the clutch, you now have 2 examples in his last 20 games. The one from the playoffs last year against the Brewers, and then tonight where it was a key time to hit a home run. Luis Torrens, not to be forgotten here, also had a 2-run homer. Brandon Nimmo had a homer. So you've got different guys starting to break out here. Of course, it's super helpful that we're playing a Marlins team that's pretty young and going to have some opportunity, but we definitely needed that game. So with that in mind, I appreciate every one of you. There's going to be lots of great post-game coverage by lots of great content creators. I always like Wardy NYM. Just know that he's not family-friendly and F-bomb free always. I'm sure he'll be super hyped up tonight, but I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for hanging out. On your way out, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and let's go Mets, baby.